We are back again with the Girl Boy Podcast, and we're your hosts, Emma
and Matt. And we asked you guys on our Instagram this week what you thought was the most important thing in a relationship. And we want to thank you guys before we even get into this, because a lot of people answered.
Yeah, and just thank you for the support in general, everyone being so, nice.
Some people were serious. Some people were funny.
No, but just the support on our Instagram in general, putting our first post, all of you guys have been really supportive, so thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. So how did some people answer that question, Emma?
We got a lot of different answers. Some were jokes, but a lot were serious. People thought communication.
Communication, I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure.
Communication, empathy.
Loyalty.
Yeah, support, respect.
A couple funny ones, but we're not going to say those.
We won't expose them.
But we talk about this amongst ourselves, and what it came down to, and a lot of people also said it, was trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I by far think trust is the most important thing in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I think that trust, if you have trust, you can have a lot of those other qualities in your relationship.
And a lot of people said trust, and I was like, wow, great. Everyone's on the same page. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we want to say a quick little disclaimer going into this video.
Before we get into the whole trust topic.
Yeah, before we get into the meat. You cannot expect trust if you're not in a committed relationship. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, and I know a lot of people are probably like, duh, Emma, obviously you can't expect that. But how many people do you know are not dating someone, might just be friends with benefits, and they literally get upset when that other girl or boy even talks to another girl or guy when they're out. The thing is if you have never had the talk, or if you don't have a label, how are you supposed to expect that other person to put 100% of their effort into you?
You need to pop the question and say, what are we? Mm-hmm. What are we?
Yeah, you literally need to establish boundaries, because it's just not fair to either of you to not be labeled and think that
you need a label. You need to define a label in your relationship. And I know it's so awkward to go up to somebody and say, hey, what are we? I know that's awkward. People have you need to ask that question, because at the end of the day, if you think you're in a relationship but you've never asked, you're crazy. You need to go to the doctor. You need to be prescribed some kind of medical prescription, because that guy or girl doesn't know that you're in a relationship and you think you're in one.
And you owe it to yourself too, that if you do feel a certain way, and if you start to really get perturbed by someone not respecting you, or if you think that this person's talking to too many other people, then maybe you're on a different page than that other person. So you owe it to yourself to have that talk if you want to have that talk, because you're just gonna get broken in the end,
And we get it's awkward. Yeah. We get it's awkward.
Everyone's been there.
But you don't want to have your heart broken in the end, thinking that you're in something that you're really not in.
Yeah. So we want to say that disclaimer, because a lot of people are guilty of it. A lot of people know other people who have seen them go through this. And, if we're going to talk about trust, you need to kind of put that in there.
Yeah. So define that you're in a relationship before you even take any of this advice. Mm-hmm. So yes, now that we got that out of the way, we brushed that off the shoulders, we are going to define what trust is. So I always say ladies first, but why am I doing everything first?
Because you set the tone.
I guess I do. All right. So I would define trust as in, I'm going to keep it super simple. You need to believe in your partner. You need to believe what your partner says. And that's not hard. That's hard to do. It's hard to believe in your partner. But before we even get into the believing in someone, you need to establish a relationship, establish a strong foundation, get to know each other, get to know each other's hobbies, know who you are, know who they are, know what they like, what they do 24/7.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of establish that trust, because I do have a lot of trust in you.
Yeah, and I don't think we would be dating if we didn't. I don't think we would be making this podcast if we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also a lot of people who are friends before they date, they kind of like will see like, oh, I can trust this person, and maybe that's why they also go the next step to make it dating.
So how would you define it?
I think trust is feeling safe in your relationship. I think that whether you are 100 miles away or you are out with friends, or if you've been drinking wine or beer all night, you know that that person you are dating, no matter what circumstance, no excuses, chooses you at the end of the night. You should be able to be independent and let your partner do things without you and still trust them. You shouldn't be like, oh, unless they're like in my view, then I can't like trust them. Like that should not be the case. You should be able to not have to see them and their every move.
Mm-hmm. Some people are just out there like to have a girlfriend, to have a boyfriend, and it's just like, I don't know, you need to like figure it out. Like when I go to the bar, and it doesn't matter if I'm like 20 beers deep, like I look around and no one can bring to the table what you bring to the table.
Yeah, and that's how everyone should feel. Like you should be able to walk around a whole room and be like, wow, none of these people even make half of what my significant other.
Mm-hmm. And that's
if you shouldn't even want to jeopardize your relationship. Like if you want to jeopardize whatever you have, then chances are you need to get out of your relationship, and that's also someone that the other person should not trust.
Mm-hmm. And I would almost say I have that feeling because I know you so well. You know what I mean? I feel like we know what each other's like thinking, and if we don't, we ask that question too, like that, like
yeah. I'm a very honest person, and I expect, you are too, and I think if we ever have any doubts, we just get it out. But not doubts. I think if we ever have something on our mind, like if I'm pissed off, and it could be over something so stupid.
I know when you're pissed off.
I'm saying, like, I could literally be like, oh my God, like, you've been playing video games for 5 hours, like, all I want to do is eat dinner. Like, that's what I mean. But, like, I will say it. I'm not going to be, like, petty and not communicate my feelings and
I can kind of tell by your mood if you're like mad.
Yeah, same with you. But yeah, so I just feel like if you feel secure in your relationship, that's trust.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I like that. I like how we define that a lot. And I know a lot of you guys said like, communication is one thing and loyalty is another thing. I feel like communication, trust, loyalty, like they're all like somehow commingle with each other.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is it's kind of like a tree. Mm-hmm. And trust is like the trunk and everything branches out. So you have, when it comes to trust, then you have communication, you have honesty, you have loyalty, you have empathy, you have respect, support, confidence. How are you supposed to be confident in your relationship if you don't trust the other person? How? And I know like a lot of you guys said communication, and it kind of made me think like, maybe that is more important, but I still stand by trust, because how are you supposed to openly confide in someone and converse if you don't feel like you can trust them? And I know
feel that same way.
I know that might be a little controversial, which is fine. We're not trying to change your views, but that's just the way I see it. I really feel like trust, I was going to say trunk, trust is like the main thing, and then like other things branch off, but you need trust to be like the foundation.
There's different layers of trust, and I feel like that first layer is almost like, all right, I meet you, and it's like I have to like trust this person to talk to them before even communicating. That's what I feel like.
I agree.
All right, that's pretty good. So, I guess now we're going to go into the whole aspect of lying.
Yeah, because that goes right into trust, obviously.
And I feel like if you're like, you get to know your person, if they lie to you, it depends how big of what the lie's on. If they lie to you about where they're going, that's big.
Yeah, no, I think that there are smaller things, but I think that even like you shouldn't even have to lie about smaller things. Like, who you're with. Like, if you're with your friends, just say you're with your friends, you know? Like, if you catch a person, like, lying about, like, you know, they say they're playing video games, but they're, like, out with their friends, like, why even lie about that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I
Because
think
that can lead to other things.
it also, that'll lead to just in the future, like, stringing you along. Or you're just gonna, like, both people are gonna start hiding emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you supposed to trust someone and communicate with someone and all that other stuff if, like, you know, you're hiding your emotions?
But if you get caught up in a lie, and, like, if you're caught up in a lie, like, you should, and you find out your significant other's lying, you should, like, you know, that's like a step back in your relationship.
Yeah.
It's almost like now you're losing that trust. Why even in a relationship
again,
if you're going to
like,
be lying to someone?
what's the point of jeopardizing anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're doing something that you're lying about, then chances are you probably shouldn't be in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I say that all the time, but, like, it's not rocket science. It's really, trust is not hard. It shouldn't be hard. So,
And I know we're being real harsh here. This is just like we're like super passionate. I for one am super passionate about this topic. Like I'm the first episode I was like, Emma, we need to talk about trust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like the foundation of a relationship, and this is why we think this is.
yeah. Well, I'm like, once again, it's not hard. If it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to trust someone, then break up with them. That's literally it. Don't complain to your friends about it. Don't hide it. Like, break up with the person. I know it's hard, but in the long run, is it going to be worth it? Because it's not one lie. It's a series of lies that are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and harder to deal with.
And you can't drag that on into a relationship, or
can't-
else things are just going to turn toxic.
Yeah.
That's a toxic thing in a relationship to do, to constantly lie to someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it starts out with little ones, and then it becomes big ones.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're cheating on your significant other. It's like, dude, come on, figure it out.
Yeah. And the thing I always think too, like, always go with your gut. You know, but don't be dumb. Like, know your worth and know your partner's worth, and they should, like, your partner should know your worth too. And if they don't, then that's probably the reason why you're having
What do you mean
issues.
by that? Know your worth?
Know that, like, if your partner is cheating on you or something, know that you can do better. You deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay in a relationship because you think it's going to get better. Like I said before, like, one lie, that's not the end of it. And I don't want, like, people shouldn't think that way, you know?
I feel like this, okay? This is like the foundation of a relationship. You're building the trust up. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. The significant other lies. Now it's like, all right, we're like literally back down to square one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it might be awkward for the next couple of months, but if we keep building up that trust again, you know, things will start to work out in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if, you know, if they lie more than once, twice, 3 times, it's like, okay, hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to someone who lies to me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. 110%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so, and then not last, this isn't our last topic. No, it's not. But this is something that happens. I know people, okay, who, and this can be girl or guy,
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
check their girlfriend's phone
Yeah.
while they're sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
while they're getting up to go to the shower.
Yeah.
Ladies, watch out.
But girls do it too.
But
I know girls.
okay, here's my thing about this situation, right? Because I think it's handled differently between a guy and a girl. I don't think usually guys aren't like, let me see your phone, unless they know something's on it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I think guys sneakily, because I know people who check their girlfriend's phone when they're sleeping, when they're going to the shower, and they look for, you know, something because they think something's going to be there. But when girls do it, it's like, hey, I'm going to have like a monthly check-in.
Yeah, which
on your phone.
I think sometimes girls are like that, but girls can be sneaky too. And remember, when we talk about this stuff, we're taking things from, like, all experiences, like things that we've seen people do, things that we've heard people do. So you probably also know people who do this. And it's like, it's not even like, it's checking their social media, like their DMs. It's
Checking who they're liking.
It's checking their location. I know some girls who, if they don't have their boyfriend's location, they freak out. It's like, if you can't trust that he's like not at a strip club or something, like, you gotta have a bigger conversation.
That's weird, and I don't like. I wouldn't want our relationship to be that. I wouldn't want our relationship to be, Emma, give me your phone every week, so I can try to find something that's bad so we can argue about it. Because if you have a reason to go through someone's phone, you know, say your significant other was making out with someone and somebody saw it or somebody said something to you, okay, now that's a reason to go through their phone.
Yeah, that's
figure out that
different.
situation.
But
if you're just going through their phone monthly, that's called being immature.
Yeah. And this is definitely like something that like the younger generations do, but
I see it all the time.
I don't understand why it's like almost normalized nowadays. I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like I checked his phone the other day and like I went through all of his Instagram DMs and I saw he liked this one girl's post from like high school. Like, he sounds psychotic, you know? And like guys checking it like when their girlfriend goes in the shower because like what, they don't want to like seem psycho, because it's always apparently the girls who are the only psycho ones in the relationship, you know? Like, it's just a bunch of BS. And I think if you even need to do that, what the hell are you doing? Get out of your relationship.
It's immature.
And I know I keep saying like get out of your relationship, and you're probably like, well, that's easier said than done. But no, like, how stressful is that?
Yeah, no. How I always looked at it was like this, like you have your friends chat like with your girls, and I have my guys chat with my boys.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be looking. I shouldn't be looking at your girls chat.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I might piss you off.
Yeah.
And I know I piss you off.
Yeah.
So you might go in that chat, say something to your girls that you don't want me to see, because you're going through something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just like, my boys chat, like, no, you shouldn't look at that either. Like,
God. No, I'm joking.
Like, how would your friends feel? How would you feel if you knew that one of your friends in the chat, girlfriend, was checking the whole chat, seeing what you guys said in that chat?
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't feel good about that.
Yeah. And it's not even like you know, you just it's privacy. And I'm not saying like it's privacy and like, oh, like it's private because it shouldn't be seen. It's just people, like, you should not have to go through someone's phone. Like, that's just like an invasion of privacy. You know, and I don't know, I just, everything with that.
It's almost like, and I'm gonna make another big thing here. Like, people who come from a terrible relationship bring the same routine. Like, if they've been cheated on, if they broke up because XYZ, they come into that relationship and they try the same routine that they had in the broken up relationship.
Yeah.
If you try the same routine and it doesn't work again and again, what is that called? Like insanity?
Yeah, you can't like go into every relationship being like, oh, my last relationship ended like this. And like, or like, this happened in my last relationship.
So I'm going to do this to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah. No, you sound crazy.
Yeah. Like, hopefully the person in your new relationship, you can just trust and like not have to worry about those same problems coming up again. You can't control a relationship.
That guy or girl is not the person that you've dated before. I'm going to say that again. That guy or girl is not the person that you dated before.
And if they are, then maybe you should like maybe
you have a bad taste.
Yeah, maybe you need to get like better taste or something. Because you should not. Don't put yourself through the ringer.
Of course not.
Do yourself a favor.
Of course not.
So our next topic is background noise, which is very, very common. Unfortunately,
I feel like this is a big thing.
It is
in like relationship status. You know what I mean?
It's background noise. Like, it's inevitable. People love to talk. It's human nature.
And spread rumors.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the talk that people love to do the most normally is shit talk
and gossip.
Yeah, and I know like we're all you know what's it called? We're all guilty of it.
Yeah, sometimes you like to talk about other people. I get it.
But the thing is that what gets me so mad about background noise, and once again, all of these topics we're talking about, they all have to do with trust. There's going to be background noise, but you should be able to, at the end of the day, know, unless someone is like showing you a video of your significant other like hooking up with someone, that's different, all right? that's not, you should not be like, take action with that. Otherwise though, like, people will talk to your face. They'll talk behind your back. They love to make assumptions. People think that they knew you 5 years ago and now you're in a relationship and they know exactly how you are in that relationship. That's not right. Those people, they grow up and they mature. And if you're shit talking a relationship that you don't even know what the heck is going on in that relationship and spreading rumors, maybe it's time for you to grow up too. Mm-hmm. Why are you going to try to jeopardize someone's relationship and talk about it? And some people, they take background noise and they hear people talking about their relationship and they'll actually start fights with their boyfriend or girlfriend. And that should not define your relationship. You should know, like,
Mm-hmm. I always feel like, and I don't know, I guess it's just like kind of me as a person. Maybe this is just a good thing about me, a good trait. I've just been, I do what I don't care what other people say. There's going to be that background noise in the back. People are going to say that. But as long as you and your significant other know what's going on and you trust each other, who cares about the background noise?
Yeah, that background noise should like turn into white noise and it should like fade out. Like,
whatever. Let them say what they want.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you, Emma. I'm not with other people that are saying bad things.
Yeah.
Like, it's me and you. Like, how do you feel right now?
Yeah,
you know what
exactly. I mean? And that's like the sad part. People will act like they know your relationship better than
and
you.
People get like background noise almost like eats them up. It's like you come home and everybody's saying this about our relationship. Like, do you like, why does that have to be a fight?
Yeah. And you should, like, once again, how I said back in the beginning, like, you should feel safe in your relationship. Mm-hmm. And with that safety, you should be able to know, like, it's, at the end of the day, it's you two. It's not Susie and Joey and Lucy all talking crap.
I love those names.
It's like back in the 50s.
Susie, Joey, and Lucy.
Yeah. It's just you two. So, once again, if someone was to show you a video and be like, oh my god, like, Joey was hooking up with Katie, like, then yeah, don't
get walked on. Don't get walked all over.
That's not background noise.
Yeah.
That's like a
if your friends come to you and they're like, your girlfriend or boyfriend is cheating on you, you need to do something about it. I heard it because this, and that happened. Yeah. So I think the difference between this is you need to realize who your friends are and your friends are. And when I say friends, I say that in quotes. Because those people aren't your friends. They're just people that you know that love to gossip and love to talk about your relationship. And those people are irrelevant and they don't have anything to do with it.
But also half the time, the only reason they'd be talking about your relationship is because maybe they're jealous of it. Like, why waste your breath talking crap about someone's relationship? What is that going to do for you?
Mm-hmm. There's no reason to come at that person and be like, hey, man, I heard you said A, B, and C, because, that never ends well. Mm-hmm. That never ends well at all. What do you
mean,
Like, I heard you were saying this about my relationship. You go up, like, you hear someone gossiping about your relationship. Yeah. You run up to someone and you're like, you said this, and confront them. It's just like, okay, that person said this about our relationship. So, that's probably not a good person.
They're just like,
that's probably not my friend.
Yeah, just be the bigger person at the end of the day. Like, if someone that you can't even trust, like, as a friend, is talking about your relationship in a bad way, then, like I said, chances are they're jealous and they have issues of their own. Yeah. So why waste your time?
You gotta know who your friends are and your friends are.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Yeah.
Not really your friends.
Yeah.
Just people you know.
Yeah. They're the ones you gotta watch.
All right, and then lastly, our last topic is social media in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is toxic, and this isn't even so much like trust. It's just how social media, some relationships just abuse it.
We've never been the type of people to constantly post about our relationship at all. I think the only time I really post is when you make me food.
Oh god, like,
or we
Snapchat.
Make drinks.
Yeah, like that. Like, you just like post when you want.
I post funny stuff. I don't post like. I know people who post 3 times a day with their significant other constantly about their relationship. Oh, I'm so glad I met my best friend for life.
Mm-hmm.
We're like gonna have the best time, blah blah blah, 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
That gets annoying. People don't want to look at that.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's social media. Do what you want. Like, I'm not gonna sit here.
We understand. I know what you're trying to say. Like, some people, like
maybe that's just like what they like to do.
And they're happy.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
But it's the people who, why post? Like, some people literally will post so much on social media, and then 20 minutes later they'll be in a fight with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
It's like everything's great on social media. You care about like what other people think, and then you don't really care about your relationship, it's or like you're like fighting 24/7.
Like, who are you trying to prove things to? Yourself?
What do you want? More likes? What are likes? What do likes get you in life?
Yeah.
How many people follow you?
It's literally like that documentary, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
What is that documentary called?
It's like the American
Horror Story?
No.
That's
a show. It's like American Murder.
Yeah, American Murder. I think that's what it was called.
It's like the guy. It's on Netflix. I'm
and
sure.
And essentially, what the movie is this girl posted all the time about her relationship on Facebook.
How perfect it was.
And you would have never thought a thing was wrong because of Facebook. And the guy was having an affair.
Her husband, yeah.
And then he killed the girl.
His wife and his 2 kids.
And the 2 kids.
His 2 daughters.
And put him in a septic tank or an oil tank?
An oil tank.
That was messed up. That was a messed up documentary. And it was just like, well, everybody was like, wow, I would have never thought that because on Facebook, everything looked good.
She literally posted everything. And then there was a part in the documentary, and this is so relevant because I know so many people who do this. They literally... she would like post like they were on vacation and they were like at the beach. They went somewhere in Florida, and she literally posted a picture of them like holding hands on the beach. And in the documentary, she was like texting her friend on the sideline saying like, he won't even look at me, he won't even kiss me. Like,
that's messed up.
So why would you post on Facebook everything's looking fine? Like, what does that do? Like,
everything ain't looking fine.
That's just you like trying to prove to yourself that everything's okay.
It's not good to like just let the world know all your personal info 24/7. Hey, me and so-and-so are in Cabo. Me and so-and-so are in New Mexico. We're having a great time. We're having a good time.
Or not even that, but leave some up to the imagination. Yeah. Make people think like, oh, I wonder how they're doing. Like...
We post on Instagram. What do we post? We post like for Halloween.
I don't even think that like that's not even the point. Like, post when you want. Like, we're not gonna be like, oh, if you post like once a month, you're crazy. No, that's normal. If you never post, that's also normal. It's just you shouldn't like think like every time you go on a date or every time you go on a trip that you have to document it. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, Matt, we're going out to dinner. Like, the main thing I want to do tonight is take a picture at the dinner table. Like, no, like, I want to talk to you. I want to have a glass of wine. I want to eat. I want to know how your day was. Like,
unless the food's looking really good, then you could take a picture.
Yeah, whatever. No, but that's the thing. Like, it shouldn't be about the pictures.
Don't let social media run your relationship. It's trust, it's communication, it's loyalty. You guys got to talk to each other. You can't just be like, well, we just posted an Insta and we went to an Italian restaurant and it was great. Like, yeah, you might think it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not.
And this kind of ties into the other thing with social media. Like, a lot of times those relationships that do feel the need to post everything on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, they're also the relationships where the people are like, oh, you liked Susie's picture? Like, oh, you like this girl's picture? Or, oh, you started following this guy? Yeah. It's like, okay, well then...
That's back into the check-ins, which is just immature.
And most of the time, like, those relationships, like, social media literally deteriorates, like, love lives. And it's so sad because years and years ago, social media was never a thing.
Yeah, how did people get along back then?
They talked.
Wow.
Crazy.
Talking to your significant other? That's crazy.
There's a good way to use social media and there's an unhealthy way to use social media. So people don't care if you went out to drinks and then you went out to dinner. Like, sorry, you're not a celebrity.
Keep it low key. Everyone likes low key, right?
Yeah, I think everyone does like low key. Leave people wondering, like,
and then, know what's crazy about social media? you don't have anything to talk about if you post everything on social media.
Yeah.
Because they already know about your life.
Yeah.
You can't say, like, we went out to eat, we went to Mexico. They're like, oh, I saw you, like, people are like, oh, I saw you went to Mexico on your
Yeah.
Instagram, and then you guys went out to an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have nothing to say to someone when you
Mhm.
meet them.
I think and like I said, if you go somewhere, you take a picture, you post it, that there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
There's no problem. We do that all the time. I post pictures of us when we go somewhere, or if I'm like, damn, we got good outfits on today. I want to capture this.
Because we're all about fashion,
But
too.
it shouldn't be about the post. Like,
Mhm.
live in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
No, I completely agree. So, yeah, look, if you guys, you know, have a strong opinion or anything towards any of the stuff that we're talking about, shoot us an email, slide in our DMs,
Mm-hmm.
message us on TikTok.
Yeah, everything.
Let us know, you know, what you think about this, like what we said. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe I said something too harsh. Let me know, because we have a lot of messages from you guys, and we're going to probably answer them next episode. A lot of people have been emailing us, so yeah, we're going to answer some questions next episode. We just kind of were really wanting to get this.
Yeah, and we're open-minded, so if we ever say something and you're like, listen, I think you're wrong, like, you can tell us.
Explain it to us.
We're not-
Explain why we're wrong.
No
I'd
one-
love to, you know what I mean?
Like,
I
no
might
one- we're
say,
not-
like, all right, I said that wrong.
But yeah, but we're also not like, we're not like love gurus. You know
No,
what I mean?
of
Like,
course not.
And we're open-minded. Like, we like to see all different aspects of like
Yeah.
what we talk about, and like, maybe if you're like, hey, listen, that sounds a little weird, like,
Maybe social media is how your relationship works.
yeah.
And you can explain that into us in an email. And we'll
And
be
I
like, you know what?
understand that.
I understand where this person's coming from. I get
Yeah.
it. Because we know people who it works for. But I know a lot of people who it doesn't work for.
And once again, with the whole social media thing, we're not saying if you post on social media, your relationship sucks. Like, no, we're not that stupid. We're just saying if it runs your relationship,
That's a
then
problem.
There's like, what's the quality in that? Like,
What's holding your relationship together, social media or your connection?
Yeah, exactly.
Connection's more important.
Yeah.
So
but-
yeah, we're going to answer a lot more from the fans. I can say that, right? The fans.
Yeah, and everything is at Girl Boy Podcast. So
Mhm.
if
We're going
you-
to try to get a TikTok up. We're going to try to get a TikTok up, a cool TikTok. We'll put it up for you guys. We didn't go to TikTok. We didn't use TikTok last week or 2 weeks ago because we were kind of just like informing you guys about what the podcast was going to be about and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we brought a lot more energy this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, because we're passionate about what we're talking
This
about.
is our first real episode, so, you know, and every episode we're going to improve, we're going to learn, you know, new things to talk about, better ways to say what we're trying to get out, but basically, yeah, TikTok, and if you guys follow us on Instagram, you guys know, like, we're going to try to, like, post questions on our Instagram page, and
If you missed the last question, make sure you follow us on Instagram
yeah, because it helps us learn more.
about what you guys think and what we think. And I think this question, we were on the same page.
Yeah, but also we feed off of it too. Like, a lot of you guys said things that you know, like empathy. Like, that's a really good thing.
Mhm.
And, you know, that wouldn't be one of the first things that come to my head, but definitely has changed my mind. So,
All right. Well, guys, I think that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening.
thank you for all the support so far.
And peace out.
Bye-bye.